Hello everyone, my name is Bloodless and welcome in the next live stream. I don't know anybody. The 1.12.2 pack has crashed and I don't know what's happened with them. I cannot play on in Minecraft, and today I will start Call of Juares gunslinger. Let's start. Let's try on hard.
Don't I know you, sir?
Don't believe so. I haven't been here in many years. Name's Silas Greaves.
Silas Greaves? The bounty hunter?
Used to be.
Ah, what are you doing here in Abilene?
Just passing through. Got a little business to take care of.
Well, sir, it would be an honor if you would allow me to buy you a beer.
Hell, son, it would be my honor to drink it.
I'm Molly. Howdy.
I'm Dwight. That's Jack and Steve. Ben's behind the bar. Oh, I bet you got some great stories.
A couple.
Any of them true?
Jack, be nice.
A few.
What about your shootout with Henry Plummer's gang in Bannock, Montana? Is that where you started as a bounty hunter? That's what it says in this here dime novel.
Don't believe everything you read in them dime novels, boy. First man I hunted was back when I was riding with Billy the Kid.
You knew Billy the Kid?
Damn right. That scrawny son of a bitch had no fear. Wouldn't back down for nobody.
I heard he collected the 10 stars off any crooked lawmen who crossed him.
It was a war, boy. The Lincoln County War. And Billy promised his regulators would take the life of every bastard who helped bushwhack John Tunstall.
Kid had a big chip on his shoulder and a hair-trigger temper. Made him dangerous as hell.
Okay. It's working. Okay. I must check something in the YouTube. Okay. Welcome, anybody who is on live. And let's start the game. After the intro.
It was about 30 years ago. Billy was hiding out in an abandoned farm near Stinking Springs. I threw in with the kid because the man I had sworn vengeance on was riding with Billy's enemies. But before I tell you why I want that sumbitch dead, let me tell you what happened that day. I was heading back to the hideout when suddenly I had this funny feeling.
Funny, haha.
No, Steve. The other kind of funny.
Okay. And go to the
modpack. Need to stay here to keep an eye on the road.
That's not fair.
Maybe I can. Quality.
It's in all the fun.
I knew those two morons would never let me through. I had no choice.
What the hell? Shoot that sumbitch! I'm putting you.
Was it Pat Garrett's posse?
Oh yeah. I heard the shots and I knew I had to move fast. Garrett and his army of deputies had surrounded the entire homestead.
Sorry. I don't know what's happened.
Fire at will! Spread out, goddammit! They're coming from the rear!
I decided to help Billy and the boys out a bit. So that's just what I did.
Hey, got one behind us! Stay on it! Cover fire!
As the governor of New Mexico was paying for the kids' apprehension, Garrett was able to hire every gun hand in Lincoln County.
Where'd he come from?
Maybe I can change my skills. Fatigue is high. From secrets you can get a lot of experience with pockets. Okay. More concentration for okay.
What are you, yellow?
Okay, where is your
You think you can kill me too?
Hey, what's happened with this game?
You're dead!
I knew that going through that front door meant putting my butt in a shooting gallery, so I decided to get sneaky.
Watch out! He's one of them! God damn it, he's right behind us! Where the hell's Garrett? Never around when you need it! Come on! They say
Garrett's
these
men were
sumbitches
running
are-
around like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off. Still, one of them reached the water tower. Not a bad idea. It would be a turkey shoot from up there.
Okay, I killed him.
You ain't going nowhere!
Okay,
I'll do you myself!
next. Okay. Oh, headshot.
Luckily, these shooters Garrett hired weren't the sharpest tools in the shed.
I've got this!
A lot of them were saddle tramps or sod busters or drunken drifters looking to make a few
Oh
bucks.
yeah, I love explosions.
Add it up!
Who are you? Where are you? Now in the head. Okay, I put my skills no in this. I want to in this this skill. That's okay.
Then, I heard a friendly voice yelling at me from the window. Back door! We'll cover you!
Try aiming, you idiots!
Truth be told, things weren't much better
Oh,
behind the
this is
house.
my. Oh,
I cut their numbers in half, but that just made the ones that were left twice as mad. They made up for their lack of skill with a seemingly endless supply of ammo. It was a bit of a slog, but I finally fought my way
guys.
around the back of the house.
now we can listen a lot of story from the.
And like that,
You'll
I was
all be
inside,
dead, you bastards.
none the worse for wear. I passed Dirty Dave,
Deader than a rat in a trap!
and upstairs I found Billy and Charlie Baldry.
Okay.
Billy looked at me and said, "About time, amigo! Grab a gun and get to the window!"
Wait, so you were friends with Billy the Kid?
Yeah, sort of. Anyway, we were surrounded by dozens of deputized shooters who wanted to do us harm.
It's good, nice.
I'm telling you, Garrett's men were dropping like flies, but they just kept on coming.
How I can
Where the hell Garrett get to? Dispense of all the action!
buy this one.
That's when Charlie got hit. "They're catching us in a crossfire," shouted Billy. "Get to the other side."
Okay. Pushing shot.
Shoot that bastard!
Where's my rifle?
Put some holes in him!
Can I survive?
Take him down! Get out here!
That's shot, nice.
I don't know how many of those cocksuckers I personally put down, but it was pretty clear, even to Billy, that maybe discretion was the better part of valor.
What's that mean?
It means that it was time to cut and run. "They got a Gatling," Billy shouted. "Get the horses and bring them round back. I'll draw their attention."
Please.
He directed that order at me, and I thought, why the hell do I have to do it? But I went anyway. Dumbass that I was back then.
Do you have a machine gun or something? Yes, they have a machine gun. But machine gun on in the western?
Many would have fled in that fight. But I had that false sense of invincibility that many young men have. Like Jack here.
What are you saying, old man?
Jack was just joshing with you.
Yeah, he better be.
Mr. Greaves, please continue.
Please, call me Silas, ma'am. Now, where was I?
You were heading for the barn.
Okay. Need to climb. Don't climb to upstairs. A ladder?
Making my way past a passel of fallen foes.
Okay, let's...
That's it for you.
Okay.
Sounds like Garrett hired a whole regiment of hired guns.
Yeah, and just when I thought I was done with them, more of these hapless bastards would pop up.
Okay, I have all of the concentration.
Finally, I had the stables within my reach.
If you play... Oh, this is going to start. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's go to the...
And that's when I met Sheriff Pat Garrett.
I read that you went toe-to-toe with him, sir. That backstabbing bastard with that tacked-on tin star.
Oh, I hate radios in this game. Gareth.
You challenged him to a showdown.
You read that in a dime novel?
It said he showed no fear as he took your measure with eyes like a rattlesnake.
And... Oh, then if you can see, then it's not. I am not good in this. Well.
Man, that you killed him. In a fair fight.
Is that what that Penny Dreadful said? No, boy. That ain't what I meant when I said I met Pat Garrett. So let me start again. I finally reached those damn stables.
I love the game because
After the fight, maybe we could treat ourselves to some fried chicken. I stepped inside, and last thing I heard was Garrett's voice. That's not Billy.
And go on. How did it end?
And, boy, that was just the beginning.
no, I collect ore of nuggets of truth. The previous played this game a few years ago.
So what happened? Did Garrett arrest you?
Yeah, after I came to, the bastard had clocked me with his Colt.
And the kid surrendered?
When he realized there was no getting out of there alive.
So they locked you up in Lincoln?
Indeed they did. Sentenced me to hang right along with the kid.
Okay. A fistful of oddly. Come back to the ruin.
It's important to know that I was only riding with Billy so I could find the bastard I was after.
Lincoln Jail, April 28, 1881.
He was with John Kinney's gang, and they were sworn enemies of Billy's regulators.
Why were you after him?
I owed that son of a bitch a bullet for what he had done to me and mine. Instead, all I got for myself was a goddamn death sentence. Luckily, it was right around then that I heard Billy make his move. He shot Jim Bell and a few other guards as he made his getaway. Later, they wrote that some lady friend planted a pistol for him in the privy. What the papers didn't say is that Billy helped me escape, too.
Oh.
My first order of business was finding a firearm.
Going to...
Luckily...
Okay, and... Oh, now my... webcam has failed again. Okay, it is working again. Okay. Go back to the...
That little son of a bitch!
Hell yeah! That scatter gun was like a double-barreled howitzer. It could blow a man clear off his feet. You hardly had to aim the damn thing. The kids escaped raised a huge ruckus. Guards were everywhere looking for him.
Get pistol ammo.
Get away! Anybody see him?
I had to jump from roof to roof like a damn alley cat. I followed the planks where I could, but some of that wood was slippery as hell. The whole town was up in arms. Suddenly, I was a fugitive.
Oh no, I'm broke something. Maybe it'll the car.
So that bastard you were after, what did he do?
He did me and my family a grievous harm. But I knew if I was ever gonna find him, I would need to get my ever-loving ass out of there. I tried to be stealthy and sneak my way past.
This town doesn't have a moment's peace.
I have my pistols again. The guns. Okay, that's cool. Look at else. No, I haven't. Okay. I have this 7 level probably from the nuggets of truth when I finished the previous play.
But hell, if they weren't all waiting for me. Apparently, some of them thought I was Billy.
You hooligans can go to hell.
He's in town somewhere.
See, me and the kid shared a certain
gosh.
similarity in build and color. I was just glad I had Deputy Bob's mean-ass shotgun.
God damn!
And let's go. Let's die.
Show yourself! I'm ending you.
Oh, that's off on me. Great. Oh, I didn't start it. Yeah. Okay. It's locked. Let's go to the next.
They're shooting in the street!
Get your heads down!
There's children here.
So much lead was whizzing by my head, it was like everyone in Lincoln wanted to put me in the ground. I knew I needed to find a horse. Though I never did have a great fondness for those four-legged grass eaters. Smelly, sweaty, ungrateful beasts. They prize them too high, if you ask me.
Okay. My fist.
Get out of here! Time to
You want to kill me? Oh. Nice shot. For 100 XP.
ears are ringing.
In this way, I can kill myself.
What? Can't hear you.
A boom. If you
I'll flank it.
watching
That was too damn close.
penguins from
Put down your weapon.
Madagascar, you can know what this means.
Show yourself, coward.
It's a nice wave. And let's. Oh, this is this. Blocked. Blocked door. Okay, now I must find a way to go out the city. This up. Sorry. Where is the audio? Music value. Quiet. Okay. Now what I am looking for? Go out to this city. Oh, I come back. There I am. Getting experience in shooting when you to destroy really it's a ladder in this place. Oh my gosh. Comments probably will be watching nothing from from my blindness.
But where was the kid while you were busy getting shot at?
Gone. And that's when it occurred to me why Billy set me free.
Shotgun? I guess I prefer shotgun number. Oh, are you rifle or? I prefer rifle. Okay. I want to use these gold pistols, okay.
Got that son of a bitch!
Oh my gosh. And that's oh, new level. Great. Now I can carry the capacity the combos. Concentrated.
So I could be a hapless decoy and draw attention while he snuck out of town.
There we go. Hey, where is my...
I knew if I made it out of there in one piece, no one would put a price on my head.
Because everybody in Lincoln would be dead?
Okay.
No, because they all thought I was Billy. And all that blame would fall on him. Meanwhile, Deputy Bob Ollinger was organizing a posse to put me down. He was already a mean son of a bitch, but he was doubly pissed that I stole his mean-ass shotgun. Anyway, it was me or them, and the only way forward led me straight to perdition. But the cards were dealt, and I had no choice but to play them.
Get the women off the street! We can How the hell did he get away?
Lamp? Really? Somebody wants to kill me with the lamp? Let's see what it is. They have a longer distance.
We're gonna be in deep shit when Jack gets back.
Oh, shot in a pass. Okay.
We can take him!
That's a nice drive. There is that. Okay. And yeah, it looks nice. Okay, ammo.
Finally, I found what I was looking for. The stables on the edge of town.
I guess Billy saved your ass, taking out Bob Ollinger the way he did.
Billy didn't kill Bob.
Well, sure he did. He dispatched him right after he shot Deputy Bell.
No, sir. because Bob came right up behind me, angry as hell that Billy had lit out. "Hello, Bob," I said. "I think you better let me go." And he says, "I don't think so, boy. Not with my shotgun." So we stood there in the middle of the street, eyeball to eyeball.
Sorry.
He intended to kill me, and I knew I had no choice but to defend myself.
Oh my god, they killed me. And you know, you can say that I hate this dual minigame. And that helped me. Oh my gosh. And they killed me. I don't know what is a good way to finish this minigame.
Some say I fought unfairly, but they weren't the ones looking him in the eye that day. Pat Garrett gunned down Billy 3 months later, so his escape was all for naught anyway.
Okay, and let's make a third match.
So where'd you go after Lincoln?
Mexico. Until I realized nobody was looking for me. I ended up taking a job at the Juares.
The Mexican Ruales?
I was hired to help them track down the cowboys.
The most vicious outlaw gang in Cochise County? Curly Bill Brocious? Johnny Ringo?
Led by old man Clanton himself.
They must have paid you a pretty penny to take them hombres on.
Not really. But truth be told, I had my own reasons for going after those boys.
A ballad for an old man.
So was the bastard you were after now riding with the cowboys?
Roscoe Bob Bryant was his name.
Oh.
But no, this time it was a different bastard I was after. The aforementioned Mr. Ringo. And yes, he was working for old man Clanton. I came upon them robbing a stagecoach, which wasn't surprising, being they were such murderous thieves and bastards. The bandits wore red scarves, so I knew they worked for the old man.
Over there!
I did my best to help those poor bastards.
Hey. Looks like a trap.
Moments later, the attackers were dead, and I checked the stagecoach to see how many passengers were still breathing. None. It was then I wondered if the rocks weren't hiding more bandits. Was that all of them? Or did I just hit the rear guard? I quickly got my answer. They attacked from on high like Apache dolphin did. They would appear in great numbers from above and rain down lead on their hapless enemies' heads, making use of the high ground and whatever else they had. Yep, the Apaches always appeared out of nowhere, and there never seemed to be an end to them.
Hold on. Were you attacked by Apaches? What happened to the cowboys?
Did I say they were Apaches? I said Clanton's cowboys attacked me Apache
No, they
style.
didn't
I was in a pitched battle, but I was holding my own against an overwhelming enemy force. See, at the time, I was still pretty green, but often blunder into regrettable situations.
And
But I just kept shooting at anything I could see up in those damn rocks. I didn't see Ringo. I knew he was with the
they
cowboys.
killed me. Okay. And again.
At the time, I was still pretty green and would often blunder into regrettable situations. But I just kept shooting at anything I could see up in those damn rocks. I didn't see Ringo, but I knew he was with the cowboys.
Wow, they killed me once again.
At the time, I was still pretty green and would often blunder into regrettable situations. But I just kept shooting at anything I could see up in those damn rocks. I didn't see Ringo, but I knew he was with the cowboys. He and Roscoe Bob had done me a dreadful wrong, and I was determined to have my revenge. But to get to Ringo, I knew I'd have to find my way past these other assholes first. Unfortunately, I was running out of ammo. Another perfect example of my relative inexperience as a hunter of men. I immediately knew that a tactical retreat was called for, as my vengeful fury was much less impressive without the bullets to back it up. Finally, they managed to corner me. Trapped as I was, the odds of my survival seemed pretty slim. Luckily, serendipity was on my side as I suddenly spotted a way out of my predicament.
Stand and fight, you coward!
Okay.
I ran ahead as if the devil himself was after me. Bullets were whizzing by my ears, but I wasn't about to roll over and die.
Take a second.
I just kept running like there was no tomorrow. Because there wouldn't be if Clanton and his men caught up with me. As I was scurrying around those caves, I thought, what was I thinking? Going up against a gang like this?
Run. Run, gunslinger, run.
I just kept running, not knowing where the hell I was going.
It's not this way. Maybe I can going in the
You're done.
Alright.
Nowhere to run.
Okay. This is the first way. Then I must go. I don't know what happened with the previous. I hit ground too hard. And okay, let's check. Go, go, go. Go back to the shadow. You shall not fight. It's this.
You're done.
That again, like this.
Nowhere to run.
And that's when something miraculous happened. Like manna from heaven, I found the desiccated remains of what looked like an Apache warrior. The old weapon next to him supplied me with some much-needed ammunition. Pat Masterson once told me it was more important to be lucky than good, and he would know.
Okay, now I must go again. There is,
And imagine my surprise when I found a fistful of dynamite to go along with that ammo. That stroke of good fortune evened the odds and bolstered my confidence. It was time to turn the tables. Time for the prey to become the predator. Time for the hunted to become the hunted. Time.
All right, Jesus, we get it. They were right where you wanted them.
That's right, Jack. I was done running. The old man's boys were not expecting that. No, sir. I came at them like a wildcat. My fury knew no bounds.
Where's he going? Shoot that running son of a bitch!
And next headshot by the pistol.
It was finally time for that old man to pay for his sins. I yelled out at the top of my lungs, "Clanton, I'm coming for you!" A little stealth might have made more sense, to be perfectly honest. Because that old fool had a Gatling gun and enough bullets to last him till kingdom come. But I knew I could not let that deter me. Not if I was to find and kill Ringo. I needed to get that old man off that job.
Damn good traps and damn the
Go, go, go. Oh, they killed me. Do you believe in ghosts?
Most everyone thought it was the Juares who had come up against him in Guadalupe Canyon. But it was just me.
What I ever do to you?
It's not too much long.
Gonna blow you into this week,
Okay, headshot.
I don't know how you lived this long.
Let's reload the weapon.
Damn, I
Let's
gotta
try again. Good man. Okay. If I dynamic. Oh. Right. Hey, go, go, go.
They're gonna need a
Where is it? Oh. They killed me. Again. And again. And again. Okay, headshot. Can I make it?
Most everyone thought it was the Juares who had come up against him in Guadalupe Canyon. But it was just me.
I survived the explosion. Okay, headshot.
I don't know how you lived this long.
Dynamite. I can kill him.
What a piece of crap! I mean, you coward! What I ever do to you?
Go and... Not good. Let's try again.
Get away with that! I don't know how you lived this long.
And go, go, go.
Gotta reload.
Concentration. you that is not compatible with
I don't know how you lived this long.
Let's kill the boss.
What a piece of crap! What I ever do to you?
Yes.
Apparently, one of the cowboys made it out of there alive and told Ike and Billy Clanton that it wasn't a Mexican who took their father's life that day. They just assumed it was one of the Earps, and that little misunderstanding eventually led to that legendary gunfight at the OK Corral.
Okay. Yeah, I all nuggets of craft in this level. Nice. Gunfight at the sawmill. I like this level.
A few weeks after that dust-up at the OK Corral, I was still after Johnny Ringo. I had tracked him and the cowboys to their hideout at a sawmill, and they were loaded for bear.
So, what exactly did Johnny Ringo do to piss you off?
Well, him and that other bastard.
Roscoe Bob Bryant?
Yep. They both deserve to die, and I promise I'll tell you why. But first I need to tell you about the cowboys' new boss, Curly Bill Brocious.
Earp's coming!
Get ready, boys. Curly Bill took charge of the cowboys upon the old man's demise. And after that gunfight at the OK Corral, the Clantons wanted revenge.
Okay, where is it? Let's die. Okay. Where is the next? Oh boy.
So they murdered Morgan Earp and grievously wounded his older brother, Virgil.
Where is he? It's like Juares. General Juares. Oh, I forget I have last revolver reload.
Wyatt and Doc went on what became known as the Vendetta Ride, hunting those outlaws down. So when I showed up, that's who they thought I was.
Okay, and more rifle ammo. I don't have much more pistol ammo, but okay. Let's go this way and
There were killers around every corner, all wearing red bandanas. That's how the cowboys identified each other. And I was beginning to wish I had one myself. But I wasn't about to let Ringo walk away unscathed.
Alright.
And that's what drove me forward.
They say that Ringo was infernally fast.
I hardly saw anyone faster, boy. Certainly not Wyatt Earp. That man was all hat and no cap.
Oh. Only 6, really? Oh, there you go.
Earp wasn't much of a match for him, but Doc Holliday might have taken him.
That Longer should have kept his nose out of it. They never charged anyone for the murder of Morgan Earp.
But everybody knew that Curly shot him in the back.
Nice.
That was common knowledge.
You're done.
Yeah, maybe so. But Ringo had nothing to do with it. He was just being loyal to a friend.
Is that what you call it? Being loyal? Well, to get to that loyal friend, I had to pass by some buzzsaws as big as a man.
Why are you laughing? I don't know. Yesterday I watched
You're gonna bleed!
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
What's that, Dwight?
After old man Clanton died, why didn't his son take over the Cowboys?
Because Ike Clanton was dumber than a box of rocks and a yellow belly to boot.
Go to the next part of this level.
Now, where was I?
Taking down the entire cowboy gang single-handed.
Oh, yes.
Indeed I was, Jack. Though it wasn't easy, as those boys had good cover.
It's looking like nothing good. Okay, that's on this one. Let's die.
Can't believe you keep missing.
Okay, let's come back and oh, nice. I remember this room was one of the secrets. Okay.
You're hiding too now. Blame Gil.
It's a trap.
In for the kill. Let that asshole get away with this. There he is.
shield, man. Okay. Reload the weapon, pistols, rifle, and we go to that.
There were carts everywhere, piles of lumber, and God knows what else for people to hide behind. That really was one hell of a sawmill. Quite an impressive operation.
It was a trap. What this way? Okay. Hey, what's happened with this game?
And where was Curly Bill? Did you see him?
I'm about to get to that, Ben. Patience.
Patience.
I'm painting a picture here. There was this beautiful waterfall and a crystal clear stream that led to a verdant valley that was truly...
Consider your picture painted. What happened next?
Well, finally the bastards that were still alive made a last stand.
Okay, stone with mountains looks amazing. What are you looking for this? No, where right.
Curly Bill, Johnny Ringo, and his compadres took off into the lumber yard, and I followed after.
Okay, okay.
Are you saying they ran? Cowardice was not in Ringo nor Curly Bill's nature.
No, sir. I never said they were running scared. They just wanted me out in the open.
Time to dance with the devil! You working for Wyatt Earp? See what you got there? Send you to kill me? Why is he still standing?
Let's take a breath and
Come on out, son! Hiding like a scared little puppy! This ain't the
this is a boss, okay. Oh, and boss killed me. And boss killed me. Phew. What's happened with the audio manager? Oh, good morning. My second viewer on live. Good morning, good evening. Sorry, this is not the evening. My God.
Time to dance with the devil. You working for Wyatt Earp? That sumbitch Earp send you to kill me? You're going to the gates of town. Let's see what you got. Help me out here.
Faster.
Time to die. I'm putting you down. You're dead. Shit. Come on, my bottle. No chance. No future.
Yes, I killed him.
Brocious gave me no choice but to take his life. But Ringo was nowhere to be found.
I knew you didn't kill Ringo, because he was found dead in a different location altogether.
To this day, his killer is still unknown.
Indeed. Took me a few months before I finally tracked his ass to West Turkey Creek Canyon.
Maximum to take over and take the ballot. Okay, come back to where. Next.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
They killed me. Okay. I hate this.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
They killed me once.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Oh, and killed.
Sorry I had to ruin the legend for you, boy. But the legend ain't always true.
Sucks.
Doc Holliday had nothing to do with the death of Johnny Ringo.
Oh. I not have one nugget of proof from this level. Okay.
I was paid a healthy bounty for Ringo and Curly Bill. and realized there was real money to be made. That's why I went after Henry Plummer.
Plummer.
Now, wasn't he the sheriff who augmented his income by shaking down miners and robbing gold shipments?
That's the one.
Oh, yeah, I remember him. He ran that gang of thieving outlaws called the Innocents.
So it's true that you went toe-to-toe with him?
Indeed I did, son. Indeed I did.
Magnificent one. not this not this.
I knew I needed resources if I was going to track down Roscoe Bob Bryant, and hunting Plummer looked like a good way to get rich quick. As the local vigilantes exposed him as the leader of the bandits, and put a generous price on his head. Plummer rallied his gang to plunder one last gold mine before making their escape, and that's where I thought I'd find him.
Come back to the... Enter my influence. Okay.
As my late father pointed out to me more than once, God made men. Samuel Colt made them equal.
You can't beat the
Let's
innocent.
kill the bandits.
I'm fine. I will
Headshot.
drop you down a mine shaft.
Nice. Okay, and... Oh my gosh. So hot. I can't get to the chicken. Our experience. So. Okay.
I knew that dynamite wasn't mine, so I decided the polite thing would be to return it.
Okay. Good joke. Yo.
It was the biggest gold rush since Sutter's Mill in '48. Unfortunately, prospectors weren't the only ones drawn to those riches.
The dynamite killed me. Where is the dynamite? Okay.
There were thieves and killers, robbing travelers and hijacking gold ships. Like those that ran with Plummer. Some were just regular folks I knew from town, drawn by greed and easy pickings.
Oh my gosh. I feel to go. Reload, bro.
Charlie Crow, the blacksmith.
Blacksmith.
James, who worked in the stable.
Something 7 with my...
Sam and Jeremiah Barber, the butcher's sons. Ordinary citizens who live a double life. Stealing and thieving and murdering their neighbors. Of course, the rest were veterans of the Civil War. Stone-cold killers trained on the bloody fields of Shiloh and Antietam. Plummer had a lot of men on his payroll. A hell of a lot. That son of a bitch pretended to protect the public with one hand while stealing them blind with the other.
This is our goal now.
Oh, next step. Right.
Do you know who we are?
Dangerous, desperate individual. I was outnumbered and in way over my head, but I was too damn stubborn and stupid to realize it.
My weapon. Download the knife and graved window.
They must have thought I was touched. Or had some kind of death wish. Seeing as there were barrels of gunpowder everywhere.
Plumber,
One stray bullet, one stray spark, and I'd be blown to hell and gone. Did I have any second thoughts about what I was doing? No.
Hey, what's happening with us? With the voice of my...
you can't hide forever.
Oh, so fast.
I thought I was some kind of hero. I finally made it past and headed on to meet my destiny.
I can go.
Time to die.
Long shots.
But first, I had something I needed to figure out. I had a few ideas on how to get into that mine, but once I made my decision, I knew there was no turning back. So my first thought was to enter the nearest mine portal. I saw an entrance. Made sense.
Okay. Go.
It was the quickest way in, but that also made it more dangerous, as there would undoubtedly be enemy pickets posted along the way.
Nice. Oh,
Time to blow your shit up.
Okay.
Besides, once you enter a mine like that, it's easy to get all turned around. And that confusing maze of corridors wouldn't even be the worst of it. Some of those shafts could be as deep as hell. A single stumble or misstep can easily end in a deadly plunge to oblivion.
Okay.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Keep the time. Okay. Maybe I find something. Yes. Part of. Oh. Part of. Okay. Go. There is something. And the left. Nothing pressing. This place has pack of ammo. Where is the oh my god. Oh. Where is this man? Oh, it's so close to that. Oh. Refluent. Pistol ammo. And let's climb to the top of this mine. Where I am. Come back to the yeah, oh, wait.
Quick reflexes often make up for a lack of common sense. Luckily, I was never one to be easily bushwhacked.
They killed me by the cart. Okay.
I would just need to be careful not to blow myself to kingdom come.
Wait, nothing to find.
With all that gunpowder and dynamite everywhere, a body has to know what he's shooting at.
You're dead.
Okay.
One wrong bullet could have turned that mine into a dad-blasted tube. I freely admit that my plan of attack was not
Hey,
just
go,
honest, but
run.
clearly insane.
Fun. No.
It's a good thing that I abandoned that ridiculous plan before
It's an
I even
event.
tried it.
Next, I don't like quick.
Instead, I spotted a ladder, a way into the mine from the opposite side.
Okay. They know
It was a long way around, but that approach seemed more sensible at the time. Of course, being I had a problem with heights, that scaffolding scared the bejesus out of me. Climbing down that ladder required some caution, because even though I had a younger man's reflexes, no man can dodge a damn bullet while climbing down a rickety ladder. I needed to make a leap of faith. I was determined not to give up, however. That Sheriff Plummer seemed quite the despicable character. When the vigilantes discovered what the sheriff was up to, people were outraged. That 10,000 they put on his head would go a long way to helping me find a new bar. And I had made it my mission to settle that score come hell or high water. But first, I would have to make a choice. Take the elevator or climb the ladder. I picked the more convenient and more dangerous route.
Now, where is that?
Plummer was a mad dog killer, and the people of Nevada City deserved better.
You know who we are.
Well, he was the sheriff of both places at one time or another, but that's neither here nor there.
I want to detonate in the airbag. To the boss.
You must be about out of bullets.
The point was, taking him down would save a lot of lives, including my own.
Go. It's like boss fight. It sounds like plumber.
Gonna blow you into next week. This is getting worse and worse for you, ain't it?
Henry Plummer was clearly unhinged, and I could see right away that this was gonna take some doing.
You can run, but you can't hide forever. They're gonna bury you in a million feet.
Oh. They killing me.
I'm going all medieval on your ass! Run! Rookie shot! No blood money for you today! What do you think you're doing? Who said you could throw dynamite? I need some help here! Come on, boys!
Okay, and let's
Take
kill
this
this.
cocksucker out! Sorry, son of a bitch!
Okay, where is that? Next. Alright. Where is that? Oh my gosh. I don't remember if this game not good, but I played. I think a time ago. Kaboom! Okay, where is that?
Gonna blow you into next week, boy!
Okay.
They're gonna bury you! Pieces! No blood for you today! They're gonna need a dustpan to pick you up! You killed an innocent man!
I killed Piranha.
Gonna
Okay.
blow you into next week, boy! You can shoot, but can you aim? Just give up and die!
Let's
They're
kill all
gonna
this.
bury you in a million pieces! I can shoot too! They're gonna bury you in a million pieces!
They killed me again. Okay. Where are you?
I'm going all medieval on your ass!
Oh,
They're gonna bury you in a million pieces! I'm putting you down! What incarnation? I got a lot more dynamite than you!
okay.
I can shoot too!
Kill the Piranha. Oh, I survived. And now I die.
Take this, you son of a bitch! No blood money for you today! This cocksucker is smarter than he looks!
Okay.
All medieval on your ass.
Oh,
So
yes.
that's how
I
Henry
killed.
Plummer died. Him and his crew were worth their weight in gold. And now, I was officially a bounty hunter.
Oh. Okay. Again, one nugget of truth for the next.
So, did you finally go after that Bob feller?
Well, I heard word he was in Kansas with John Wesley Hardin. So that's where I went.
Where in Kansas?
Abilene. Why do you ask, Ben?
No reason.
Was Hardin as fast as Ringo?
Ringo was fast, but John Wesley was as fast as the devil himself.
John Wesley. Hardly.
Hell, he killed his first man at 15. From that day
15?
forward, he had
Really?
a price on his head and wouldn't back down for nobody, not even Wild Bill Hickok himself.
Okay, be quick or be deaf. Okay, nice. Now I must go. Must take a little breath and see after a few minutes. Okay, I can. That's next mission, next
I
level.
dodged death many a time, and that night in Abilene was no different. I was there with the intention of finding that bastard Bob and collecting the bounty
Oh my
on John
gosh.
Wesley.
There he is.
back to the safe place and use the final.
You think you can kill me?
I thought the Texas Rangers got hardened.
Yeah, that's what they want you to believe. It was cold in a witch's tit and a brass bra that night as I fought my way past his loyal compadres.
Maybe. Oh, anyway. Before this. Before no, before no. Not that.
To the very same saloon we're sitting in today. Look around and imagine this place painted in blood. Hardin was waiting for me, and... Wait, I'm jumping the gun here. Let me back up and give you some background on this sumbitch. He deserves that much. Don't you think so, Ben? John Wesley Hardin was a killer. By the end, he confessed to taking the lives of 42 men. Fathers and husbands, brothers and sons, men with families who cared about them. Families who put up money in hopes of finding justice. He was a bona fide folk hero by then, and had amassed a gang of armed miscreants and other assorted thugs. He and his men set up camp outside of town, and I was hoping Bob was among them.
God damn it! Shoot that son of a bitch!
They didn't ask why I was there. They knew. As most of them were wanted as well. I figured Hardin was here somewhere, but to get to him, I'd have to get past his gun hands. I had to spill a lot of blood to find out Hardin wasn't in that camp. He was carousing in town with his closest friends. Hardin's boys apparently didn't want me to reach the Bull's Head. Some were hightailing it into town to inform their jefe of my unwelcomed presence.
Yeah.
Some bitch! Let the boys know we got another lock.
Oh, and next bandit killed me.
Better 3 hours early than a minute too late.
God damn it! Shoot that son of a bitch! I think we're in trouble.
Take ammo. Go to the city.
Everything. One sorry son of a bitch.
Long shot.
Stop that son of a bitch! Let the boys know we got another law dog.
Go, go, go. Reload this.
I wondered if Bob was among you.
Nice. Bias. Yeah, all the right. Improve damage and concentration. Just focus to the enemy. All your balls shot in concentration will be infected. Profit.
And I steeled myself for the fight ahead. For as good as I was, deep down I wondered if John Wesley wasn't just a little bit better. Before I could test my mettle against Hardin, however, I would first need to dispatch his cadre of hired killers. Most of these degenerates were beyond redemption, but John Wesley might have been a different story. I didn't learn until later that that night was in fact his birthday celebration.
Reload that. Down. Go to S6. Oh my gosh. Okay, go, go, go. Much more. Ammo. Oh, where are you?
I think I already mentioned that I found Hardin in this very saloon.
Okay, go. Again. Perfect shot. Oh, piercing, I want to make something. Admire.
Suffice it to say, nobody there was happy to see me.
So hard. Maybe I can go to the saloon by the ladder? Yes, probably I can make it.
Watch where you're shooting. That's right. Run!
In fact,
Oh, no.
I felt a certain hostility.
Shoot him! Shoot him! Damn him!
Headshot, yeah.
You know you can't beat me.
I was disappointed that neither Bob nor John Wesley were among the dead. But that was short-lived, as a moment later I was facing down the fastest gun in the West. I felt a bolt of adrenaline, or maybe that was fear. He was well known for his tricks, and I knew I'd need my own if I was ever to defeat him. No, wait! You didn't hit me then. I'm sure of it.
Oh no. Make it again. What I can make? Win this. I don't know. Why they don't shooting when I take the button of mouse? I don't know. Okay, it's not for my don't
No,
know,
wait. He didn't hit me then. I'm sure of it.
Everything.
I felt a bolt of adrenaline. Or maybe that was fear. He was well known for his tricks, and I knew I'd need my own if I was ever to defeat him.
Oh my gosh, it's yeah long. Hmm.
That man was faster than greased lightning. But being inebriated as he was, he didn't count his shots. And now, he was at my mercy.
Okay.
So he didn't die?
No, I sent him to prison. Years later, after he was free, some restless Avenger took his life. Shot him in the back at a saloon just like this one. Anybody up for another beer? Ben?
Let's start a new level of this game.
Thank you, darling. Yeah, some say revenge is a dish best served cold.
So whatever happened to that Bob guy you were after?
Personally, I'd like to hear some of your other adventures. Like, I don't know, do you ever go toe-to-toe with a red man?
Grey Wolf.
Yes, I did, Ben. I remember once I was after this renegade Apache, Grey Wolf. Strangely enough, revenge was also his primary motivation.
Dance with Renegade.
A bounty was put on Grey Wolf's head, and that's how I came to hunt him in the mountains. Mountains so high they tickled the nether regions of heaven.
A long time ago, on the mountain far.
Grey Wolf was a Chiricahua Apache medicine man who had led a war party in revenge for a massacre against his people. The U.S. Army had attacked his tribe during his daughter's sacred sunrise ceremony, and the slaughter was unspeakable. I understood his anger, as there's nothing more traumatic than seeing those you love die in a cruel and painful death.
Look amazing.
Right from the beginning, I couldn't shake the feeling that Grey Wolf was watching my every move. He led a band of young Apache warriors who wanted retribution and were more than willing to die for him.
This really looks like something to make This way, I don't know.
It crossed my mind that maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But now that the shooting had started, there was no backing down. I saw them before they saw me.
Oh, and they killed me. Okay. Going by the bridge.
They saw me before I saw them.
It's it's oh.
They saw me before I saw them.
I don't any relation.
They saw me before I saw them.
Maybe I should use the rifle. Nice.
They saw me before I saw them.
Oh, easily. Go to that. They want to go? Before famous shotgun. Let's come back to that. Yes. Sorry.
It was rugged country, the winter home of the Chiricahuas, and that's why they had retreated there.
That was long shot.
I admit to having some regrets about going after them the way I did. But then again, I got a lot of them.
Go, go, go. Oh, shot is different.
that moment, but I did find the entrance to their hideout.
Oh no. This is an engraved relic.
A deep crevice that led to a deeper cave.
Don't tell me you went in there.
Yeah, but it's not out of bravery so much as pure, angry cussedness.
Oh, they killed me. Okay. Okay, that's headshot. And next headshot.
See, back then, I had a stubborn streak a mile wide, and I wasn't about to back down.
So it was like pitch black in there?
Actually, it was pretty well lit, as they had torches on the wall.
Very nice. Before painter ammo for the pistol. Oh yes.
How big was his cave?
Big as hell, Ben. Chiricahua had hid out there during the Indian War.
Oh my gosh. It's so so stupid death. Ooh, long shot. A lot of ammo. That's exactly what I want. It's not a formal situation. Use a long form.
They thought it was haunted with the ghosts of those murdered by the horse soldiers.
The cave was haunted with dead Indian ghosts?
To be honest, I was more concerned with the live ones than the dead ones.
Trail this way. There's nothing to go to that. Really long shot. Okay, it's working again. Or not? Working again, but yes, stream is working again. Good.
I came upon this flooded grotto, and that's when I saw him. He came to me unarmed and unafraid. His voice echoed in the shadows, and I sensed he meant me no harm.
You carry great darkness in your heart, and if you do not release it, it will claim your soul.
The sound of his voice put some kind of ancient Indian spell on me. As his story unfolded in my mind,
You will come to this place again and kill many more men, and the darkness will grow until it consumes everything that you are. The soul will have no rainbow, like the eye had no tears.
he said I was a great warrior, a coyote man, unequaled by any other pale-faced warrior, or something like that.
The snakes will bite shadows of your past until a venom poisons your heart, and an echo of the song of the dead summons the spirits deep from within the mountains.
I didn't quite get what he was saying, but there was definitely snakes. And indeed, his warriors surrounded me and attacked me like hungry wolverines. They couldn't stop me, though, and Grey Wolf wasn't in the mood for idle talk.
Lower this down. Okay. Reload. Faster. Oh, and they killed me. Oh, so hard. Oh my gosh, it's killed me again. Okay. Okay, go.
I swear I couldn't see any way out of this trap. But suddenly, one just appeared. Kind of like a mirror.
Okay.
I felt like I would be lost in that damn cave forever.
I have a skill point, nice. For concentration or dynamic looting? More concentration. Extra damage for combos. Yeah.
Finally, I found myself back outside, perched on the edge of a precipice, overlooking a thundering whitewater river. To get where I was going required several leaps of faith, but no way in hell I was turning back. I chased after him, determined to make him explain the meaning of all that mumbo-jumbo.
Mumbo-jumbo's right. Are you making this all up as you go?
A few details may be fuzzy, brother, but I am relating exactly what happened to me. There were dozens of Apache warriors aiming at me from on high.
Dozens?
Well, maybe not dozens, but there was a lot of them.
At least 3 or 4.
Well, more than that, little lady.
Oh my gosh. They killed me. Oh my gosh. Oh my. Well, very rare.
I had a steep climb up creek ahead of me and scrambled up those rocks like a mountain goat. I was determined to locate Grey Wolf and find out exactly what the hell he was trying to tell me. And wouldn't you know it, that crafty son of a bitch led me right into a trap.
What kind of trap?
Well, son, there had to be at least 100 Apaches surrounding me.
100?
God be my witness.
Oh, come on. Who you kidding?
Hey, I believe you. Come on, tell us how it ended.
All right, but I'm not gonna drag this out. Where were we?
You were surrounded by 100 Apache warriors.
Well, I didn't take the time to count them exactly, but there were a lot of them.
They killed me again. Wrong. Wrong way, okay. Where is my...
And in the end, a path appeared before me that I had not seen before. I followed it as I desperately needed to find out what Grey Wolf was trying to tell me. But it was like that son of a bitch disappeared into thin air.
Okay,
never did find him. And never did collect my goddamn bounty.
Enemy killed 99. So close to 100.
Thank you, darling. It's interesting how the truth can sometimes seem might malleable, depending upon your point of view.
Like how those dime novels make you out to be something you're not?
Jack, don't be starting trouble.
No, he's right. They do tend to exaggerate.
Did they exaggerate your part in taking down the Daltons?
Well, I was there in the flesh, boy, so I saw what happened firsthand. Those Daltons were lawmen once, before they all went bad, robbing banks and trains clear across the territory. Until Coffeeville, of course. I was one of the citizens who took up arms that day.
Fighting on the side of the right?
I did my best, sir. We all did.
They call me Bounty Hunter. Grey Wolf. Okay. You can wait, I think.
It was early morning. One of my friends was a local gunsmith, and he handed out firearms to anybody who'd take one. You see, the Daltons got it in their heads to rob two banks at the same time. Two banks on the same damn street.
Already lost classical.
Story was Bob Dalton's girl was always riding him about how he had no ambition. Oh, you're nobody next to Jesse James, she'd say. Finally, the bastard took his brothers to Coffeeville just to shut her up.
Right. It's always the woman's fault.
Well, the locals recognized the Daltons right off. Before they could get away, half the town took up arms to defend their property. The brothers paid dearly for their stupidity, but everybody knows They had it coming.
There's more to it than that. I read all about that day, so I know for a fact that it went down very differently. First of all, it was high noon. A posse of U.S. deputy marshals were on the rooftop across the street.
Get ready, boys. They're gonna make a move.
The lawmen had been tracking the Daltons for months, and now they finally had them dead to rights. Among them was a bounty hunter feared by many a lawbreaker. The marshals tried to get the Daltons to surrender.
They'll give up eventually. We just got
Oh yes, you're right.
This bounty hunter knew the brothers were far too proud to ever lay down their guns. He went in there alone to confront those criminals. One of the marshals shouted, "Where are you going? Are you crazy?"
Hey, where do you think you're going, dumbass? That rifle's mine.
But he paid him no mind. He saw a way to get around to the back of the bank. Then he figured out how to hit the Daltons from a direction they weren't expecting. From above. Fortunately, a water tower was right there.
Quite the Daltons when the train over.
A moment later, he was climbing up a steep ladder, laughing at danger as he did. It was brave men like him who risked their lives to tame this wild country.
We've got company.
Heroic men like him, who did what other men couldn't or wouldn't to make this country free. Like Jim Bowie and Davy Crockett, who died defending the Alamo.
Oh, I don't like shotguns.
Is that Silas Greaves? Son of a bitch! Get out here! I'm gonna kill you dead! You can't hide from
And
over there! That's Silas Greaves! What the hell?
Blam! Blam! Came away victorious, taking down those thieving Daltons.
take everything, okay. Break.
His name was Silas Greaves, and when the dust finally settled, he was the last man standing.
Sorry, kid, but that just wasn't the way it happened.
Again?
It was early evening, not high noon. Daltons blew up a safe, and were all set to hightail it out of there. I was late to the party, and Coffeyville was already up in arms. Those pathetic deputies surrounding the bank were dropping like flies. I had been tracking those jokers for months, waiting for them to do something reckless. And finally, they did. Those stupid bastards decided to rob 2 banks at the same time in the same town where everybody knew them. But they still had friends in Coffeyville.
You gonna need a cannon. You can't get me. Oh, now what? Oh, so you're hiding too now. Shoot!
Hey, you guys evil? What's holes in them? Those friends came after me like a pack of wild dogs, tooth and nail. They were coming at me from all directions. I caught sight of the Daltons running with the money and didn't want to lose them. Problem was, they knew the town better than I did. And to top it off, I found myself in the middle of another shootout in Tyler.
Did the Daltons hole up in somebody's house?
No, it was the Smiths, I believe. They were cousins of the Daltons. And they were shooting at the Browns, who were shooting at the Daltons.
Did the Daltons hole up in somebody's house?
No, it was the Smiths, I believe. They were cousins of the Daltons. And they were shooting at the Browns, who were shooting at the Daltons. Which wasn't any surprise, because those 2 families have been feuding forever.
Ooh.
And since the Joneses are related to the Browns, they shot at the Smiths, pissing off the Heimhoffers, whose daughter recently married a Smith. Well, bullets were flying every which way as all the old feuds in Kansas caught fire all at once. There was a hell of a lot of pissed off people in Coffeyville that day. But that's just the way life is sometimes. Shit happens.
Can't hide forever.
It's in the wall.
It's you or me.
Like this. Go.
The Dalton boys knew I would never give up. Those Daltons weren't the sharpest knives in the drawer, but they always stood together. They set a trap to slow me down and allow at least 2 of them to escape. It was Emmett, the youngest, and he decided to stand his ground and face me down.
I ain't afraid of you, Silas Greaves. This is where it ends for you.
He was determined to protect his brothers. I understood how he felt. Taking me on all by his lonesome wasn't exactly a recipe for a long life.
Oh my gosh.
bone orchard! It's hog killing time. You are dead.
And I fall on this mountain. Okay.
You messed with the wrong damn dog. Gonna beat you like a red-headed stepchild.
They killed me again. Right there. No.
Blow your damn head clean off!
And hold from mountain again.
I'm gonna cut you in half! Gonna send you to the bone orchard! Is that all you got?
Hey, why? I am fall from this mountain. I didn't know how I made it.
It's all killing time.
Ah, no. They make it. Okay.
Gonna send you to the bone! Why can't you die already? You ain't getting by me, Reeves! Gonna beat you like a red-headed
Go,
stepchild!
go. Go Silas, go. One Silas. Where is this dog?
You messed with the wrong damn dog.
Yes, yes,
But
I
Emmett
killed him.
Dalton survived the robbery in Coffeyville. He's the only Dalton who did.
They say he was shot 23 times.
Well, Dwight, who do you think put all those damn holes in him?
Hello.
But I have to admit, that boy had grit.
Prefer all of nuggets. Wow. Nice. And go, go, go. Go! The next level. To next level. Okay.
We'll get those suckers.
It took me a couple of days to track the Daltons down.
They can't get away with this.
And in that time, a whole posse of local vigilantes offered to lend a hand.
We'll track them to the ends of the earth.
Find
They
the
seemed as
document.
determined as me to find those outlaws. But as we headed into those swamps, it was like I had my own private army. There was no way those boys were getting away this time.
I'm looking for ammo pack.
It was early fall, right? Beautiful time of year. At least you had the weather on your side.
Not by my recollection. It was damp and foggy as hell. It was tough to stay on a true course, so we kept an eye out for landmarks.
What do they think? Goldie. they don't. I don't have much more occasion.
It was autumn. The maple trees were in full color, red as blood. The rains that year were torrential, so the whole area was flooded. The vigilantes had spread out wide, and pretty soon I couldn't see anybody.
Bury them in the snow. Plant them where they stand.
Except for some bitches ahead of me wanting to do me harm. So I had to face them alone. I wondered why my compatriots didn't come running when they heard the shots.
Back, you yellow bastard.
So did you find the Daltons?
Not yet, but I did have the questionable pleasure of meeting a few of their friends.
Okay.
Sorry, son of a bitch.
The boys had established quite a reputation by that time, so they attracted all manner of riffraff to their cause.
You think I don't see you?
Better.
Throwing your ass.
So better.
I'm gonna blow your damn head off.
Oh my, oh no. No. Let's go back to the ammo box.
And my reinforcements was nowhere to be seen. Point being, I was under serious attack.
That's a nice grave. Grave.
But luckily, a barn materialized as if right before my eyes. I scrambled up top to get a better view.
Okay, let's go.
But just ended up falling inside.
So, how did you get out?
The barn doors was open. About right then, I saw some suspicious characters running for the bushes. Of course, I followed them. But that goddamn swamp was like a goddamn maze, and pretty soon I had no goddamn idea where I was. Steve? So I just started walking, and pretty soon...
Okay.
Steve? Steve?
Huh? Oh, no, I'm
Hey.
listening.
Indians surrounded me from all sides.
Guns.
Indians? There were Indians.
No. I just wanted to make sure Steve was paying attention. Now, where was I?
You were following the Daltons through a swamp?
That's right. See, Steve? Dwight's paying attention.
Oh, I'm listening. I was just resting my eyes.
So, where was I?
The Daltons.
Right. See, there's a reason so many outlaw gangs are made up of brothers. Being a brother is a very sacred thing. It's a bond like no other.
Bounty hunter! Stop that, son bitch!
So did you ever find the damn Daltons?
Not yet, but I did find a few of their cousins. You Kansans breed like rabbits. More Smiths or Heimhoffers or who knows what. But hell, what's more important than family?
Bounty hunters! Stop that, son bitch! Surprise! Can't beat us all!
But hell, what's more important than family? I bet Ben knows what I'm talking about.
Let's down it. But I can take this train.
Dynamite! They're gonna bury you in a million pieces. Time to move!
Go.
Somebody kill him!
Somebody kill him.
God damn you! You're dead!
Okay.
Oh, here I'm tuning.
And
Can't get me.
go. Go. Okay. Okay. Oh, no.
Shoot, I dare you! Don't let that asshole get away with this! What are you gonna do?
If I... Dynamite? Yes.
waste your bullets.
Okay, and let's go. Shooting in the grave. Reload. I remember one of us one of parts, the truth, nugget of truth is, was in the top of this hole, the second level. Second layer, okay. Okay, headshot. Nice. They killed me.
Shoot it!
Reload, well done. Go. Reload quickly.
Yeah, you know you can't.
Fastest war. Okay. Where are you? Shotgunner, okay.
I knew those Dalton boys were out there somewhere, standing together against anyone who would threaten them.
And go. Oh, he's a big sword.
And that's when I saw it. A goddamn steamboat.
A steamboat in a swamp?
Yeah, Steve, but this wasn't much more than a wreck, really.
But how'd a damn steamboat end up in the swamps?
Guess it floated off during the flood of '89.
Now, was it a stern wheeler or a side wheeler?
What? Does that really make a difference, Steve? It was a steamboat with a goddamn army on board. It was then that a fusillade of bullets come raining down from on high. And those vigilantes who accompanied me weren't anywhere to be found. But among those men that were shooting at me, I thought I saw some familiar faces.
Oh my gosh. Maybe the better. it's not a good. It's not a good way. Maybe. Okay. Sure. Okay, and try again. Try and try and try. Okay.
Kill that!
Oh, heck. Right or something. Aunt Louise.
You or me?
Aunt Louise. Oh, they French. Oh no. Oh, nice. Next. Oh. Concentration in one combo. Take out a couple enemies in a row and regain your focus. Your concentration bar will be completely refilled after reaching combo level is multiple of 6. And legendary weapon unlocked. Ivor handed quick shot. Nice. Go.
Somewhere up there, the Daltons were waiting on me.
Let's reload the rifle. Ivor handled. Yes, this is a. Oh, so quick.
Sounds like you don't give up too easy.
That's the kind of man I am, Ben. I set out to do something. I do it. Surrender just ain't in my nature. Plus, I'm stubborn as hell.
Nothing else.
Yeah, you know you can't beat me.
Oh no! And they killed me when I climbing on ladder.
Time to feel you.
Rule the day. And killed me. I'm playing in the first person shooter long time.
Come on, kill him!
right about then, much to my relief, the vigilantes finally arrived. Their leader motioned at a cabin in the middle of the top deck, pointing me directly at the Daltons. I finally had them, after months of dogged pursuit. But it turned out that they had me.
Take him out! I'm sending you to hell!
The Daltons had played me like a
Tough after
fiddle.
all this.
Apparently, the vigilantes were on their damn payroll. They didn't just want to shoot me. They wanted to burn me alive. But finding my way out of a burning labyrinth proved to be quite a challenge.
It was a riverboat, right? I mean, it's not like it was a goddamn ocean liner.
Well, yeah, but I was in a fight.
Hear about that ship that's gonna launch next year? Largest one in the world.
You're talking about the Titanic. If you ask me, it's too blessed big. I don't think it'll ever float.
So anyway...
Don't be stupid, Steve. They know what they're doing. They say that the Titanic is unsinkable.
Oh, God.
But getting back to that steamboat, how'd you get off it, Mr. Greaves?
I took in a lot of smoke that day, so I admit my recollection might be a bit hazy. But somehow I managed to finally disembark. I was coughing up smoke and pretty damn pissed. I was done playing games with those boys. It was time to settle this once and for all.
And they killed me. I remember this is a hard so
Bob and Grad weren't about to come at me one at a time. They were in this together.
it's not.
Two brothers side by side, determined to take me down. Confident that this time the odds were on their side.
Let's kill him. Okay, first. Bravo. Perfect. Okay, and let's focus and make a split. Oh my gosh, between legs.
got it wrong. A sad end for those two. If they'd only known that Emmett was still alive despite his wounds.
Okay.
Paroled 14 years later, he moved to California and sold real estate and lived off the legend of that fateful day. And the tragic death of his two brothers.
Go. And next cut.
My own brothers died tragically as well, truth be told. It was 1868, and me and my older brothers were pulling a tidy profit running cattle into Juares, Mexico. One night after my brothers retired for the evening, I found a little poker game in a cantina with a couple of cowboys. And I just couldn't lose. I even won an old Spanish coin that had to be 100 years old. Well, I was mighty pleased with myself the next morning as my brothers and I rode for Texas. But before we crossed the border, those cowboys caught up with us. It was Johnny Ringo, Roscoe Bob Bryant, and another asshole named Jim. They wanted their money back and everything else we had, including our lives, as those boys didn't want us coming for them later. Bob put that old Spanish coin in my mouth and said, "I won't have it said that I left you with nothing, boy." Well, those horses bolted, and there we hung as those bastards rode away. The branch finally snapped under the weight of the three of us, but being my older brothers were bigger and heavier, they were already dead. And right then I swore to myself that I would avenge them. Ringo you know about, but Bob eluded me. Until I heard he was riding with the Wild Bunch.
So tragedy his story. Not so great train robber.
I'd been on their trail for months, ever since they left their hideout in the Bighorn Mountains. Led by Butch Cassidy, they were a loose association of outlaws who robbed banks and trains from Colorado to Montana. Among them was the Sundance Kid, and that murderous hombre I was tracking, Roscoe Bob Bryant.
Were you a part of that giant Pinkerton posse after the Wild Bunch?
No, boy. A circus like that would have slowed me down. Besides, I wanted Bryant all to myself.
My gosh, really? Sorry. So stupid.
Well, I assumed the Wild Bunch was likely in the still intact part of the train high above, so I had no choice but to make my way up through the passenger cars dangling down. I was determined to make that sumbitch Bob pay for what he did to my brothers. I found the device they used to blow the tracks, so I knew I was headed in the right direction.
My ears are still ringing from blowing up that ridge. What'd you say? I can't hear a goddamn...
Well, I made my way off unscathed and came upon a few members of the gang and had no choice but to dispatch them. From there, I had to negotiate an even more precarious route. I jumped from the frying pan into the fire as the train was clearly fixing to fall. I had found the gang, but in order to find old Bob, I needed to fight my way forward past a whole passel of desperados. Outside, inside, anywhere I could, I made my way towards my prey.
Well, what about the passengers?
It was mostly a freight train, as I recall. There were no passengers aboard that day.
So maybe it's amazing. Eliminate the train, others can find.
As I mentioned before, I am not fond of heights. But I was too busy dodging bullets to worry about falling to my death. Odds were I was likely to die that day anyway. So I was determined to take down as many of those bastards as I could.
Get out here! Mano, amigo!
Next close.
At times, it was like shooting ducks in a shooting gallery. The only difference is these damn ducks shot back.
Okay, nice. Okay, go. Correct now. I should do something. I'm blind.
I kept hoping the law would show up and give me.
Okay, it's working again. Okay.
Help? From the Pinkertons? No, son. I had to fight the wild bunch all by my lonesome, as usual.
Who the hell is that? He's mine! Get cover! Retreat!
Probably there was a secret with a nugget of craft.
He's killing everybody!
Yeah, let's kill that. Reload. Nice. Are you alive?
My guess is those dime novels didn't portray this as it happened, did they? Only a few stragglers were left. I had to cut them down pronto if I was going to stay on old Bob's trail.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Guns. Deeper pockets.
No matter how works this! Run if you want to live!
Okay, go, go, go.
Once I silenced all those guns, I went searching for my nemesis, determined to finally have my justice. But the only survivor who welcomed me was George Flat-Nose Curry.
Who was he?
The fastest gun in the gang. Right after Sundance, I mean. And Kid Curry, and maybe Elsie Lay. Though some folks might dispute that.
It's song again.
On that very same day, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid decided to leave the Wild Bunch behind and decamped for South America.
Oh,
They ended up living down there for many years, but I'm sure you already know all about that.
I have a lot of legacy stuff. Sorry, I'm going a little break again. Okay, thank you. I'm come back to the computer and let's come back to the game. 2 to her. Buy or take from my parents' home normal headset, not the sports headset.
I tried to find Bob Bryant, but it was as if he'd disappeared. Sometime later, I heard the Wild Bunch was back together. Kid Curry escaped from jail, and now he was running the whole shebang. So I took to their trail, as I was still in pursuit of my brother's killer and hoped that he was back with him.
Okay. And go, and go. Oh, it looks like man. I'll go. I'm going again on the top. Really? Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to the continue the game.
That Kid Curry's kinda crazy, ain't he? Don't let him hear you saying that.
Anyways, I tracked those boys to a camp right outside Parachute, Colorado.
I think we got his dander up.
Being outnumbered, I didn't bother with a warning shot. I just started taking those bastards down.
Take a rifle. Where are you?
It's you or me.
Oh my gosh, really?
Old Bob wasn't among them, and neither was Kid Curry. I could sense him close by, however, plotting something nasty. I just needed a clue as to their whereabouts.
Oh. Okay, and go to the next part.
And I found one. A map with their bold plan clearly marked. This time they were fixing to blow up a train trestle. Property of the Union Pacific.
Okay.
The plan clearly indicated how they were fixing to undermine several of the weakest wooden supports. Kid Curry was considered the wildest of the Wild Bunch. It was said that he fathered 85 bastard children, though some say it was only 5. Kid Curry had bragged to a whore how he was gonna rob a train heading to the U.S. Mint in Denver. And that whore, Fat Sally, she told me. Of course, I had to tread carefully. Otherwise, I could, well, die.
Oh my gosh. Wait.
The bridge was rigged with dynamite, so I decided I'd best be careful confronting those bastards. A moment later, I saw a ladder that somehow had escaped my attention.
Don't you blow us up now.
Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
But the Wild Bunch did not take kindly to my presence and attempted to blow my head off.
Hey, what's happening with... Wait, what's this?
It appeared the kid had found a number of new recruits to bolster their ranks. Guess there's always desperate men willing to trade their lives for stolen treasure.
Show yourself, coward!
What happened next?
Well, having removed the first bundle of dynamite, I decided I might as well remove the other one. Once that was done, I figured I'd find my way from there.
Died and... Oh my god. And they killed. Go.
Hell's a cow.
Probably I detonate the dynamic or all of the bridge. A boom. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's... Oh. Not very hard mode.
Too damn close. Somebody really pissed this something off. See that?
Let's get much more ammo.
You calm down.
So, what happened then?
Had to remove more of that damn dynamite.
Down. Oh,
It must have been terrifying trying to make your way across.
I was sweating it a bit, but then I noticed a footbridge tied up on high, so I shot the rope.
okay. Rope.
So that was all the dynamite?
Funny you should mention that, darling. As actually, there was a fourth charge impeding my progress. Once I removed it, my path was pretty clear.
Okay. Kaboom.
So I proceeded onward and realized that that way just wasn't gonna work. I needed an alternate path forward.
And go to the next target. It's not this way. I must go out from the bridge.
Luckily, I found a cave, and as I made my way back to the bridge, I saw something that concerned me. It was a long, burning fuse, and it was moving fast as hell. I had to catch it. I hope you understand how badly my adventure might have ended had I not been as careful as hell.
Oh my gosh. There you go.
The burning fuse was so damn quick, I had to run like the wind. I almost had it, but no. Thought I was gonna have a coronary when I lost sight of those sparks. My heart was pounding like a sledgehammer. I knew that failure meant boom. Then, finally, at the last moment. Whew. Of course, I was successful, or clearly I wouldn't be talking to you folks here today. Naturally, I removed the last dynamite charge.
Well, it was a touching reunion.
But by this time, I was thoroughly exhausted and dragging my ass as I was not a young man anymore.
Oh no.
It's truly amazing I've made it this far in life, considering how many times I've danced with death.
Dance macabre.
Kill that SOB! Make him bleed! Send him to perdition!
Finally, I found those boys. Or more precisely, they found me.
This Tracer and Kid Curry asked me!
Ow. Okay. It's so quick. Go again. Try again. Nice. Clever. Just by a without white printing.
Shoot him in the head!
Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, Kid Curry opened up on me with a goddamn Gatling gun. It was hidden in his tunnel and pretty well shielded.
Hidden Curry. Okay. Come on. Go.
He's hurt now!
Okay, where are you?
Luckily, I had located some dynamite.
Oh, not good.
I still, however, had my work cut out for me.
Oh, secret is okay, that's... Hey, working.
God damn it, I need some help here! Come on, boys! Take this sumbitch out! It's not fair!
Die. Die. The boss.
Eventually, I brought that tunnel down. And that's when I met Kid Curry himself. He had decided to stop pussyfooting around and deal with me personally.
It makes deal. Okay, let's try again.
As fast as he was, I was just a bit faster.
They kill him.
And as he lay wounded, I demanded to know the whereabouts of Roscoe Bob Bryant. He shouted at me. Is that what this is about? Bob went with Butch and Sundance to South America. You ain't never finding him.
Oh no. Big time event next.
He shouted at me. Is that what this is about? Bob went with Butch and Sundance to South America. You ain't never finding him. He shouted at me. Is that what this is about? Bob went with Butch and Sundance to South America. You ain't never finding him. Those were his last words.
Hey. And I have all nuggets of them.
So, Bob Bryant got away?
I knew I'd never find him in South America.
What about the other killer?
Yeah, you kinda glossed over that one.
Well, I found Jim not long after my showdown with Ringo. At the time, he was riding with the James Younger gang. Did I neglect to mention that?
Jesse James? The greatest outlaw who ever lived?
Jesse and his kin rode with Quantrill when he raided Lawrence, Kansas, and killed near 200 people, boy.
Nothing great about that.
And from there, him and his brother went on to rob banks and trains from Kansas to Missouri.
Which is why there was such a rich bounty on their heads. 40 grand for both of them, dead or alive. That's one hell of a payday. I confronted them as they were robbing a train. Bullets were flying at me from every which way. But I knew I'd have to fight my way forward if I was gonna find this gem.
This episode of this story, you can watch it tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Thank you for likes. If you want to take a notification from YouTube, you can subscribe my channel and click that bell. Hey, thank you again. And let's tomorrow I want to start earlier, about 8 o'clock. Thank you for watching.